Well, the Republican National Convention is scheduled to take place from July 15th to the 18th amidst those swirling controversies and security debates. The Democrats, they love chaos, and it seems that they just want Trump dead. Let's get into it. Republican officials are expressing serious concerns regarding the U.S. Secret Service security strategy for the upcoming Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. They contend that the designated protest zone is alarmingly close to the convention venue. The Secret Service remains firm on its stance, declining any alterations to the convention's security measures.
The push to keep protesters farther away from the Republican National Convention is intensifying.
Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson sharing his worries directly with the head of the Secret Service in D.C. just a few hours ago. Jason Calvi is live for us with what that could mean for Milwaukee. Jason?
Hey, Ted, well, just about 2 months, Republicans from around the country are going to gather right there at Fiserv Forum, and they're going to have huge fences up around this venue. We don't know exactly where those fences are going to be, but you're going to need a Secret Service credential, a special credential, just to get inside. We did know the Secret Service was floating as one of the main pedestrian entrance places. This street right here, this is State Street. There was going to be a secondary main pedestrian entrance as well. And then just right across the street, at Pierre Marquette Park, that is a place where the city has floated to have a protest zone. Republicans worried having that park, that protest zone, so close to one of the main entryways could create a conflict zone. Milwaukee has not officially said where it will place the protest zone. Pierre Marquette Park is a block and a half from Fiserv Forum. It's the green in this shot. The city planned it for the protest zone for the 2020 Democratic National Convention, and city leaders have floated it again for this summer's RNC.
So it's just a completely different circumstance. You know, we've had the summer protests of 2020. We had January 6th. We've had the pro-Hamas protests on dozens of campuses.
Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson just met with the director of the Secret Service.
Found it a little frustrating. And she basically said she does not have the authority to change their assessment. And they based it on their criteria that they've been using for years. And
the top Senate Republican Mitch McConnell in this letter also urged the director to act. The coalition to march on the RNC says this park is actually too far away.
For us, it's really our duty as the citizens here in Milwaukee to have a chance to get right up there and let them know that they're not welcome.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
After all that, there's now this. Growing unease over what some perceive as deliberate attempts by Democrat legislators to jeopardize the safety of former President Donald Trump and his followers. This follows a legislative proposal by Benny G. Thompson, Democrat of Mississippi, and a senior Homeland Security Committee member to revoke Trump's Secret Service protection under certain circumstances. Legal expert Alan Dershowitz has interpreted these actions as a direct threat to Trump's life.
All right, welcome back here to the Hill on News Nation. Did you happen to see this earlier today? A new bill proposed by the Democratic congressman from the state of Mississippi, Benny Thompson, would strip Secret Service protection for anyone sentenced to jail for a felony. The, quote, disgraced former Protectees Act is intended, you might think, as a not-so-subtle jab as former President Donald Trump, who, as we all know, is in court facing felony charges this week. But consider this. If it ever got to President Biden's desk, do you think he would sign it? You know who also received Secret Service protection? You know who also is facing felony charges? Hunter Biden.
Sign it. All of this is stupid. All of this is stupid. Like, this is the kind of stupidity that causes people to tune out. Like, it's just, and that's with all due respect to Congressman Thomas. I have a lot of respect for him. But, like, this is the type of political garbage that, like, just...
If you get convicted of a felony, why should taxpayers be paying for your protection?
What are you talking about?
Because you might be a high-risk
It's not hard to get a felony.
Don't commit crimes.
Don't commit crimes.
So there's a couple things going on here.
I love it. It's not hard to get a felony.
Well, a couple days ago, we ran a segment where we talked about if you protest on a bridge, that could be a felony.
And you shouldn't
now you lose your Secret Service protection.
So this was clearly intended to punk Trump.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously.
Hunter's facing felony charges.
He shouldn't get any protection either if he goes to jail.
But don't you think, so regardless of the politics, we should be protecting the president of the United States, former president of the United States, their family members, and top cabinet? Is that crazy for me to say? Or no? No matter what the circumstance?
No matter what. No one should get a blank check for protection. If you go out there and murder people, should we give you Secret Service protection?
I mean, the president's granddaughter, the president's granddaughter just 5 months ago in November, the Secret Service had to shoot because her car was jacked or there was an incident here in D.C.
I don't dispute that they shouldn't have protection, but if you go commit crimes, then you lose the right to have protection.
But that was not, I mean, for some of them, they do it outside of their protected
the party of law and order. I just believe in law and order.
I think News Nation
Maybe it's the former Republican me that believes in law and order.
Well, I'll tell you this. I can tell you this. I think there should just be a news segment like Dumbest Bill of the Week on the Hill.
And that's what this is?
This is the clear winner this week.
President, because I have to do it myself. I know it's not...
You know, the Democrats ought to be careful what they wish for. Because, I think what goes around comes around. And maybe the Democrats just haven't learned that yet. Hey, is this mic on?